He went out in the middle of the night and he sold his cow, his family's cow. That MMA is not a sport. It is combat designed to look like a sport. Every time this kid has been in a fight, except one or two times, the other person has needed a stretcher. The kind of, that's my definition of a black belt. Okay, people say black belt should be able to do this.
Welcome to this Indian MMA Origin interview series that we are doing. So, how's it going, man? Like, how's the whole stuff there in Delhi now?
भाई बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है, मजे चल रहे हैं, कोई चक्कर ही नहीं है. There's been a lockdown, right, in the country. So it's great news for me because my competition is not able to do anything, but I am a killer when it comes to my industry. So I am still thriving. I'm still planning my next expansion, my next gym, my next move. So it's great for me. It's great. The competition is dead, but I'm thriving. How are you doing, man? आप बताओ.
Here also it's going great. Just that we cannot go out and be with the friends and all. So only that's a sad part. So now before we come to the story, so how many gyms do you currently have? Like how many branches are there for Knockout Fight?
We have 10 right now.
Okay, so all of this is this in Delhi or like is it outside Delhi?
Gurgaon, Noida, Faridabad. So NCR basically.
Awesome. So when did this idea come to you? Like when did it all start for you? The Knockout Fight Club passion or the project?
Bhai, Knockout Fight Club ki, I would say the seed that was planted happened somewhere around 2005. Okay. So 2004, 2005, I was in school and I used to get bullied. And my mom enrolled me in a karate class. So that's where the seed was planted. But then for many years, I forgot about it. I went to college, I got a job, I was a DJ. I was actually a DJ for some time.
That's not something that most people know, right?
That's not something most people know. So before I started Knockout, I was working as a DJ, as a nightclub manager. And wahan pe, Ranjit, I actually got very real experience because I used to work with the bouncers on the gate. So I used to stop people who are not supposed to enter the club. So I used to work with the bouncers. Now, all of this was happening. But mere andar, there was something, Ranjit, which was incomplete. Like there was something in me which was not happy. Some childhood dream, some childhood desire that I had to fulfill. I felt this weird kind of fear in me. I was like, yaar, I'm still afraid of violence. I still don't know how to handle bullies. So it was my own desire and my own, fear that I still had not conquered that led me to start Knockout Fight Club. We started our classes around 2012, 2011 or 2012. But like I said, the seed was planted in 2004 or 5. That's where, it starts from. And one fine day, I had just had too much. To not do what my heart wants to do and to not overcome my fear was too much. I was like, yaar, bas yaar, enough. Now I will do what my heart says. And that's when, I started Knockout. And that's what I tell people, Ranjit, that till you are okay being comfortable, you will stay where you are. If you are comfortable where you are, you will stay where you are. Only when you feel like, man, this is enough. I have had enough. I now want to do what I truly want to do. That's when you will change. That's when you will go after your dreams.
So you told that you started classes in 2012. So what was the first step? Like, how did you find a space to take the class? And what was the whole situation like back then?
So the situation was that I went to many different martial arts clubs, because I wanted to learn self-defense. My main goal, Ranjit, from starting was to learn how to protect myself on the street because I was bullied in school. So I had this fear of violence in me that what if, four people surround me tomorrow? Do I know how to fight them? If I have to protect my sister, my mother, do I know how to do that? So my goal was always to learn how to fight on the street, self-defense. I went to several different martial arts academies, and all they were teaching me, everything they were teaching me there, भाई बहुत चूतिया था यार. I don't know if I can speak like this on your podcast, but I just want to be real with you.
It's fine.
You know, बहुत चूतिया था. If somebody is grabbing me, I am not going to do a flying kick. If four people attack me on the road, I'm not going to do a flying kick. And the dojo and the street are two very different things. In the dojo, you take off your shoes. Do you do a martial art, Ranjit? Do you do something?
I used to train kickboxing and judo for something.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. So when you enter a dojo, you take off your shoes, you bow to your opponent. There is a referee, there is a coach. On the street, there is no bowing. There is no honor. Nobody gives a fuck. There could be weapons involved. There could be multiple opponents involved. There's no referee. So I realized, yeah, all these people, what they're teaching is good for the sport. You know, it's good for the boxing ring or the wrestling mat. It's not good for the street. So I was in a fix, man, because I wanted to learn something and I was not able to find it anywhere. So that's when I decided that I will figure it out on my own. And that is what led to the creation of Knockout Fight Club. I was like, I'll figure it out on my own. I will meet all the teachers in India and all the teachers in the world, and I will connect the dots, connect the pieces, and I will figure it out on my own that what is actual real self-defense, what is actual real street fighting, not boxing, not kickboxing, not judo, not BJJ, not MMA, but actual street fighting. And I started with that, but the immediate next thing that I found was that MMA is actually very close to street fighting. I found that MMA is almost street fighting. There's very little difference between MMA and street fighting. You get what I'm saying? So, and our mutual friend and I guess our mentor, Daniel Isaac, he has this saying, okay, he has this quote that MMA is not a sport. It is combat designed to look like a sport. MMA is actually combat because in the beginning, Ranjit, if you remember in UFC 1, they didn't even have weight classes, man. There were no weight classes, very little rules, right? So I wanted to do street fighting, and then I found MMA, and then I found many other things related to street fighting, self-defense, weapons training, all of that. And that's what my journey has been all about. That's what this has been all about.
What's the story behind the name of the club, Knockout Fight Club? Like, did you spend a lot of time thinking about it, or did it come just like?
Okay, bro. I'll tell you the story. So one day I realized people who are doing real training, they're knocking other people out like this. Like a black belt in some traditional martial art. You put them in the MMA cage, they're going to go to sleep in 10 seconds, right? So I realized that an MMA athlete who trains for 3 months is kicking the asses of people who've been doing traditional martial arts for 10 years, 5 years. So that's when I was like, Knockout Fight Club. Game over.
Just like that.
Just like that, because we are knocking people out. Everywhere we go, we are knocking people out. So the IMA tournaments, the All India Mixed Martial Arts Association tournaments that have been happening since many years, on the national level, when that tournament happens and fighters from all cities come to that tournament, our guys always take home multiple medals. We're always taking home golds and silvers and, always taking home multiple medals. Because MMA and real fighting is very different, yaar. It's very different from everything else in the martial arts space. So that's when I was like, dude, our job is to knock the person out, game over. Whether it's the street, whether it's a self-defense situation, whether it's the cage, boom, 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 good night, goodbye. So that's that's where the name comes from, man.
So what were the challenges that you initially had when you were setting up the clinic? Obviously, you started with one gym, if I'm right. So
Yeah.
how was that process? Like, what were the challenges that you faced?
Challenges. Okay. So few challenges that I faced is one is a lack of um, collaborations and team spirit. So many times I trained people how to be coaches. I taught people how to run a gym. And then later on, they got a little greedy and they got a little selfish and they wanted to just do things on their own. But I take responsibility for that, Ranjit, because as their leader, it is my job to teach them to not be selfish. Okay, so let's say it's on me. But that was my main challenge in the beginning because I believe in helping others. I believe, Ranjit, if I help people, automatically I will become successful. Okay. So anybody who comes to me, I change their life. I change their life. I'll tell you an example of this guy. One of the sweepers, the cleaners, jhadu poche wala of my gym, he started with a salary of 4,000 rupees. Today he makes 40,000 rupees and he owns a gym. And I have many stories like this, many stories. So I used to give people a lot of power, but somehow I was not able to maintain the team. A lot of them left me. A lot of them thought, oh, if we start our own thing, it'll be beneficial. And and the sad part is they harmed themselves. Unka khud ka bhi nuksan hua. They haven't reached anywhere. And they, of course, slowed me down just a little bit, 5-10%. But like all warriors should do, I learned from my mistakes. And now I'm a different person. Now the way I lead my team, the way I connect with my people, the kind of bonding we have is amazing. Is amazing. Like we are in knockout, we are a team. We can die for each other, man. We can fight for each other. We can die for each other. We can do anything for each other. And that's how warriors should be, yeah. I mean, this is not a corporate this is not a corporate culture. This is a warrior culture. So yeah, I would say people were the challenge, and now I've solved it. Now I've understood how to take care of it.
So growing from that one gym to the number of branches that you have, it's not something easy because in our country, you obviously know how hard it's to run an MMA gym. So what was that marketing idea that went behind for the people who want to start their gym or people who are struggling currently?
Okay, so bro, I will not reveal my marketing secret.
Surely.
but I will tell you, this. If you are talented, if you are passionate, if you are willing to work hard, then nothing can stop you. Bruce Lee said, be like water. Okay. What does be like water mean? If there is a rock in front of you, you go from the side, or you go from above, or you go from under, or you smash the fucking rock. No problem is actually a real problem. Okay. It's all in your head. All problems are in your head. Ranjit, I got into a fight with 200 to 300 psychologists a few days ago on social media. Because I said things like depression, anxiety, all of this stuff, it's a lie. You can overcome these things. So I was saying, Ranjit, focus on your outcome. Focus on what you want. You want a gym, focus on that. You want to be a fighter, focus on that. You want to make money, focus on that. You want to lose weight, focus on that. If you're focusing on your problems and crying all the time, or complaining all the time, or talking about my life is fucked, I can't achieve my dreams because of this problem, this problem, this problem, then you don't deserve to achieve your dreams. Simple. Only a fighter deserves to achieve his dreams. Okay. Find solutions to your problems and you achieve what you have to achieve. Now, in the Lord, right? But our gyms, knockouts gyms, not even one has shut down. We haven't laid off even one employee. Gold's Gym declared bankruptcy in 2020. Cult Fitness, one of the biggest names in the Indian industry, they laid off hundreds, maybe even thousands of employees. So that's my suggestion to anybody who wants to become a gym owner, a coach, a fighter. Don't focus on your problems. Don't look at the reasons why you can't get what you want. Look at the reasons why you can get what you want. Focus on how you can get what you want and forget everything else. Have a laser focus. Laser focus. That's what I believe in, man.
So that's your tip for people who want to come to the run an MMA gym, basically.
Bro, there are a lot of technical business things that go into running an MMA gym. There's marketing, there's operations, there's HR, there's accounts. It's a business. You have to be an entrepreneur, right? So either you're an entrepreneur or you learn how to be an entrepreneur. But all of these things, they can only happen if you first have the mindset of a winner. So first have the mindset of a winner, and then you can be like, okay, I need to be an entrepreneur, I need to be a businessman, whatever. Then you can go and get those skills. Man, so many books are available, so many courses are available. You can learn anything, yaar. You can learn marketing, you can learn sales, you can learn business, you can learn anything. But first comes what? Your mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that's my tip.
Awesome. So now if we come to the fight team, so you obviously have a lot of good fighters in there who have won medals, who have represented in different promotions. So could you just tell us a bit about the fighters in Knockout Fight Club currently?
Sure. I would love to. I would actually love to. So our technology is very different. Okay. Like we actually don't allow people to shoot videos of our training because the way we train, we believe nobody in India trains like that. So people like to quickly put their pictures and photos and videos on Instagram. We don't do that. Our training is very different from what anybody is doing. Now, the one thing I think, we haven't done and we should have done is that we focused on building amateur fighters. We haven't focused on building pro fighters. And I'll tell you why, Ranjit. Because in the MMA scene, in India at least, I can't speak for the rest of the world, I don't know. But in India, where I've seen things firsthand, every second guy wants to become a pro fighter. Every second guy wants to go to UFC. Okay. So from day one, the culture I made in Knockout was that you have to be an amateur for 10 years. End of story. End of story. Can you think of any other sport, cricket, basketball, football, where you could become a national level pro or international level pro in less than 10 years? No. So I created this culture where we focused on building amateur fighters only. And we dominated, man. It worked. Like I said, for years and years, we were winning IMR nationals left, right, and center. Left, right, and center, demolishing the competition. But I think it's about time we also go pro. Because, I guess India has reached that evolution. India has reached that point where now the market is ready, the stage is ready, our boys are ready. And it's just the time is right, man. Like now the time is right for these seeds that I have planted, for them to turn into trees, powerful trees, unbreakable trees. Now the time is right. So we have great fighters, bro. We have a guy named Mandeep Prajapati. This guy, he actually sold his household cow. So he comes from a village where they have cows in the house, right? He went out in the middle of the night and he sold his cow, his family's cow, to pay for the training. That's his story. That's how he started many years ago. So this guy's great. Hardcore, like great grappling, great striking. He's amazing. Like when I look at this guy, the UFC fighter that comes to my mind is Khabib. Then we have a guy called Rehan. Okay. So Rehan is also someone who's been traveling all over India. Look, I believe as a coach, you should collaborate with other coaches. Many coaches are very egoistic, that my student is only my student. I actually tell my students to go everywhere. I tell my students, go everywhere. Go to Ranjit's academy, go to everybody's academy. Learn from everyone, yaar. Learn from everyone. So Rehan has been traveling all over the world. He's been learning a lot. Very dangerous fighter, very powerful fighter. Then we have Kapil, another villager, another guy from a village. And this guy, Ranjit, I am afraid of putting him into tournaments because he always, every time he's been in a fight, the other person has needed a stretcher. I swear, I'm not joking. Every time this kid has been in a fight, except 1 or 2 times, the other person has needed a stretcher. He's a bomb, this guy. So we have a few other people like this, and they've been dominating the amateur scene for years. Now we are going to launch them in the pro scene. So that's a little bit about the Knockout Fight Team.
So you mentioned about the IMA events, and if I'm right, you are the only person that organized an IMA event in 2020. So how was that experience like, holding an event during the pandemic in 2020?
Bro, my whole life is about empowering myself and empowering others. My whole life is about fighting against bad circumstances and doing what is right. So I saw that this lockdown, this virus is destroying the world. Nobody's able to do anything. Fighters are dying in their homes. Coaches are dying in their homes. What will a martial artist do, yaar? What will a fighter do? You put a fighter in a bloody room. What is he going to do for 1 year? Punch the walls. How many times will he punch the walls? So man, I realized that this is not okay. And because there are so many pressures and so many, restrictions from the government and all that nobody is going to do anything about it. I was actually waiting for somebody else to do it because I was busy with other things. I'm more into mental coaching and life coaching now. I'm more into personal development now. So I was waiting and hoping that somebody else in our community does it. But when nobody did it, I had to do it. I felt, Ranjit, it was a duty. Because seeing the way these fighters were, these coaches were, the MMA scene was, I was like, how can this year go by without even one MMA event? So I spoke to, Daniel Isaac, and Dan sir said, it's a great idea as long as you can take care of everybody's safety. So being brave doesn't mean being stupid. I was brave, but at the same time, we followed very strict protocols in that event. Everything was being sanitized. After every 5-6 fights, we were sanitizing the entire ring. People were wearing masks. There was social distancing. A lot of protocols were being followed. But man, I'm so proud of it, Ranjit. We did it. We did it. And people came from all over. I thought only few people will come from Delhi. Few people will come from Gurgaon. People came from Punjab. People came from Ludhiana. People came from Odisha. People came from Maharashtra. People fucking came from all over the country, bro. And I was like, wow, I did the right thing. And they told me this, like they met me and they told me, they were like, thank you for doing this. And I was like, man, you know, I felt happy. I didn't make any money, to be honest with you, because we kept the entry fee very low. The entry fee was just 500 rupees. In most tournaments, it's 2,000, 3,000. We were like, we just want to give these people a chance to fight. So I didn't make any money at all. I didn't get anything out of that tournament. But I did get the satisfaction of knowing I've done the right thing. Even though the circumstances are difficult, even though there are many challenges, there is the virus, there are the government restrictions, even though there's all this shit that's like an obstacle, like a problem, I have still done what I know is the right thing to do. That satisfaction, man, it's priceless for me.
So, Manan, before I get your closing thoughts, I just had to ask about one more thing. You and Jason collaborated for an online course which had many lessons in Hindi as well. So, could you just tell us something about that particular thing and how people can access that?
Yeah, me and Jason, we thought there are so many people in India who live in villages, who live in tier 2 cities, but they want to learn MMA and there are no good coaches around them, you know. So me and Jason decided to just put out the basics for free. First, we thought we'll make it a paid course, something very cheap, 500, 1,000. But then, man, you know, we realized MMA has given us so many things. Jason's career is MMA. You know, he's one of India's like most senior fighters, veteran fighter. I have been around the scene for so long. I have these gyms. No, I don't think any other MMA chain has 10 gyms. I think I have the largest gym in the gym chain in the country. Now, we thought, let's give something back. MMA has given us so many things. Let's give something back. So we made this course in Hindi for people who cannot go to a coach, cannot move to a city like Delhi or Mumbai. And we put it on YouTube and we said free. Because, you know, all these foreigners, they have so many courses. You have so many courses from foreigners in English. Why should our country, our fighters not have the same education? So that was that was the story behind that.
So what do you think is the future roadmap for Knockout Fight Club and the fighters in the team that
Bro, there is only one roadmap for us, which is domination. We dominate. We don't compete. We believe in 101% domination. And I know these fighters, they work harder than anybody else. Okay. I know they are more talented than anybody else. I know they have better genetics than anybody else. I know they're getting better training and better coaching than anybody else. Because our coaches are not just limited to India. We have Knockout has a network internationally. We don't talk about this much, but we have an international network. So they're getting the best training. They're getting the best of everything. These guys have been dominating the amateur scene for a long time. Now they will dominate the pro scene. In the coming year or two, you will see fighters from Knockout in popular pro MMA promotions.
so do you have any plans to expand beyond Delhi with Knockout Fight Club at this moment?
So I'm not sure because on one hand, it's about passion. On the other hand, it's about business. You know, you can expand your business, you can do many things. For me, it's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. I could expand very easily, but I might not. I might not because I have other businesses also that I do. I have other things also that I do in life. Coaching people is my passion. Helping people overcome their mental problems and become mentally tough is my passion. So there are all these other things that I do. We'll see how it goes, man. I can't say. We'll just have to wait for the future and see what happens.
So before we close, is there any message or thought that you want to convey to the audience that will be watching this?
Yes. So in my philosophy of martial arts, I believe in two things. One, be strong, be powerful. Two, be humble and be nice. So what I want to tell people is you have to make sure you are powerful enough to go after your goals, to go after your dreams, and to smash through obstacles. Because if you're not doing that, then you're not even living life. Then you're just like a vegetable. Okay, so be powerful enough to live the life that you want. But many times powerful people are also corrupt people. Many times powerful people are also assholes. So don't be that. Be one of the good ones. Be one of the kind ones. Be powerful, but be a good human being. Somebody who's doing good things in the world. That's the kind of, that's my definition of a black belt. Okay, people say black belt should be able to do this. My black belt is a very powerful person. They can cause an earthquake, but they're also a very good human being, very high quality human being, very kind, very humble, a lot of empathy, a lot of love. That's what I want to do. That's the message I want to share with everybody.